Greetings, it's Dr. Griffin, your swing surgeon, director of club fitting operations, and yep, it's time again for the doctor's house call. We're continuing our series on shaft myths, and we're up to myth number 3. And myth number 3 is that the flex notation on the shaft tells you how stiff the shaft is. Now, by flex notation, we're talking about whether it says the little S, the R, the X, the L, the A, whatever. We're saying that the myth is that you can go by that S or R or A or X and it tells you how stiff the shaft is. Well, let me give you an example here how I can prove that wrong. I happen to have 2 shafts here. I'm not going to tell you the name of the company. I happen to like these shafts, but there are different playing properties in each of these shafts. They weigh differently. Same length, we took the same load. We used a weight that was the weight of a driver head. And both of them have flex S. So they're both stiff flex, according to what the shaft says. Now, when I put this shaft here on the frequency machine, it frequencied out at 248 cycles per minute. And I put this one on the frequency machine, and it cycled out at 260 cycles per minute. Now, this is 2 shafts from the same company. Imagine if we were talking about shafts from different companies. Let's take a shaft that weighs 45 grams and compare it to a shaft that weighs 95 grams. Both of them stay stiff. I don't think it's a real indication of how the shaft plays, how it reacts, how it loads, how it unloads, how it feels, or anything. So when you start talking about flex, and I know that most of you talk that way because that's all you've been taught, all you've ever heard is flex. Well, let me even tell you what flex is. Flex is a notation of the vibrational frequency of a shaft when it's clamped. You're holding it in a clamp and then twanging it and reading the vibrational frequencies. Now, let me tell you something. I can take this shaft, I use a 5-inch clamp. Well, I can go to a 2.5-inch clamp and it will change the vibrational frequency. So again, you don't even know whether we're comparing apples to apples, whether the company's using a 2.5-inch clamp or a 5-inch clamp, because the reading will come out differently anyway. And again, the number that we're getting is really only telling you what's happening to the shaft under the hands back here in this part. For my personal taste and preference, I need to know what's happening here. This is where the head's going. This is where the business end of the shaft is. This is what responding to launching the ball, middle of the shaft. This is where it's giving its kick. So to me, the least important thing is back here, but yet that's what they measure and mark the shaft with. So don't get caught up in the flexes. What flex is this? You really need to go to somebody who understands the profile or the entire shaft. It's like, give you an example, that's like taking a picture of your arm and saying, this is a picture of me. Well, you know it's not. That's just part of me. So flex, again, just back up here under the first 5 inches or 2.5, depending on the clamp, is just giving you part of the picture of what this whole shaft is. The profile tells you about the whole shaft. So it's important to find the fitter who understands the profiles of shafts, knows how to fit the profiles of the shaft, which is the dynamics of the shaft, to the dynamic of the player in his swing. There are different factors that go into the different parts of the swing and the different parts of the shaft and how they correlate to your swing. Well, that's it for me for today. As always, we appreciate your continued support. And remember, better golf is just a fit away.